We've taken forceful actions to tighten the stance of monetary policy. We've covered a lot of ground, and the full effects of our rapid tightening so far are yet to be felt. Even so, we have more work to do. Price stability is the responsibility of the Federal Reserve and serves as the bedrock of our economy. Without price stability, the economy doesn't work for anyone. In particular, without price stability, we will not achieve a sustained period of strong labor market conditions that benefit all. Today, the FOMC raised our policy interest rate by a half percentage point. We continue to anticipate that ongoing increases will be appropriate in order to attain a stance of monetary policy that is sufficiently restrictive to return inflation to 2% over time. In addition, we're continuing the process of significantly reducing the size of our balance sheet. Restoring price stability will likely require maintaining a restrictive policy stance for some time. I'll have more to say about today's monetary policy actions after briefly reviewing economic developments. The U.S. economy has slowed significantly from last year's rapid pace. Although real GDP rose at a pace of 2.9% last quarter, it is roughly unchanged through the first 3 quarters of this year. Recent indicators point to modest growth of spending and production this quarter. Growth in consumer spending has slowed from last year's rapid pace, in part reflecting lower real disposable income and tighter financial conditions. Activity in the housing sector has weakened significantly, largely reflecting higher mortgage rates. Higher interest rates and slower output growth also appear to be weighing on business fixed investment. As shown in our summary of economic projections, the median projection for real GDP growth stands at just 0.5% this year and next, well below the median estimate of the longer-run normal growth rate. Despite the slowdown in growth, the labor market remains extremely tight, with the unemployment rate near a 50-year low, job vacancies still very high, and wage growth elevated. Job gains have been robust, with employment rising by an average of 272,000 jobs per month over the last 3 months. Although job vacancies have moved below their highs and the pace of job gains has slowed from earlier in the year, the labor market continues to be out of balance, with demand substantially exceeding the supply of available workers. The labor force participation rate is little changed since the beginning of the year. FOMC participants expect supply and demand conditions in the labor market to come into better balance over time, easing upward pressures on wages and prices. The median projection in the SEP for the unemployment rate rises to 4.6% at the end of next year. Inflation remains well above our longer-run goal of 2%. Over the 12 months ending in October, total PCE prices rose 6%. Excluding the volatile food and energy categories, core PCE prices rose 5%. In November, the 12-month change in the CPI was 7.1%, and the change in the core CPI was 6%. The inflation data received so far for October and November show a welcome reduction in the monthly pace of price increases. But it will take substantially more evidence to give confidence that inflation is on a sustained downward path. Price pressures remain evident across a broad range of goods and services. Russia's war against Ukraine has boosted prices for energy and food and has contributed to upward pressure on inflation. The median projection in the SEP for total PCE inflation is 5.6% this year and falls to 3.1% next year, 2.5% in 2024, and 2.1% in 2025. Participants continue to see risks to inflation as weighted to the upside. Despite elevated inflation, longer-term inflation expectations appear to remain well anchored, as reflected in a broad range of surveys of households, businesses, and forecasters, as well as measures from financial markets. But that is not grounds for complacency. The longer the current bout of high inflation continues, the greater the chance that expectations of higher inflation will become entrenched. The Fed's monetary policy actions are guided by our mandate to promote maximum employment and stable prices for the American people. My colleagues and I are acutely aware that high inflation imposes significant hardship as it erodes purchasing power, especially for those least able to meet the higher costs of essentials like food, housing, and transportation. We are highly attentive to the risks that high inflation poses to both sides of our mandate, and we are strongly committed to returning inflation to our 2% objective. At today's meeting, the committee raised the target range for the federal funds rate by a half percentage point, bringing the target range to 4.25% to 4.5%. And we are continuing the process of significantly reducing the size of our balance sheet. With today's action, we have raised interest rates by 4.25 percentage points this year. We continue to anticipate that ongoing increases in the target range for the federal funds rate will be appropriate in order to attain a stance of monetary policy that is sufficiently restrictive to return inflation to 2% over time. Over the course of the year, financial conditions have tightened significantly in response to our policy actions. Financial conditions fluctuate in the short term in response to many factors, but it is important that over time they reflect the policy restraint that we're putting in place to return inflation to 2%. We are seeing the effects on demand in the most interest-sensitive sectors of the economy, such as housing. It will take time, however, for the full effects of monetary restraint to be realized, especially on inflation. In light of the cumulative tightening of monetary policy and the lags with which monetary policy affects economic activity and inflation, the committee decided to raise interest rates by 50 basis points today, a step down from the 75 basis point pace seen over the previous 4 meetings. Of course, 50 basis points is still a historically large increase, and we still have some ways to go. As shown in the SEP, the median projection for the appropriate level of federal funds rate is 5.1% at the end of next year, a half percentage point higher than projected in September. The median projection is 4.1% at the end of 2024 and 3.1% at the end of 2025, still above the median estimate of its longer run value. Of course, these projections do not represent a committee decision or plan, and no one knows with any certainty where the economy will be a year or more from now. Our decisions will depend on the totality of incoming data and their implications for the outlook for economic activity and inflation, and we will continue to make our decisions meeting by meeting and communicate our thinking as clearly as possible. We are taking forceful steps to moderate demand so that it comes into better alignment with supply. Our overarching focus is using our tools to bring inflation back down to our 2% goal and to keep longer-term inflation expectations well anchored. Reducing inflation is likely to require a sustained period of below-trend growth and some softening of labor market conditions. Restoring price stability is essential to set the stage for achieving maximum employment and stable prices over the long run. The historical record cautions strongly against prematurely loosening policy. We will stay the course until the job is done. To conclude, we understand that our actions affect communities, families, and businesses across the country. Everything we do is in service to our public mission. We at the Fed will do everything we can to achieve our maximum employment and price stability goals.
All right, good morning. Brand new day, Fast Money Friday. Let's see what we can get. My main focus right now it's on COSM again. They have a stock split today, and there's a lot of volume just appear to be on their side. And also I'm looking at AUVI. It's also on our second gainer. So number one gainer is it's not really MAXR. I think they have stock split or some earning news, if I'm not wrong. Not sure. Not the type of stock that I want to look at. Also this one. Yeah, so the main one that I'm watching right now, AUVI, with a little lower range volume. It's USM over 14 million, so that's what I'm looking for. I made a few scalp before 9 a.m. Very small, so I'm looking forward for the open to see how this will plays out. Hopefully we get something out of it. Yeah. I also looking for that ICVX because I missed this yesterday entirely as I was out. But it looks like it did pump to squeeze up to 16 and then flush down at 1645 max resistant. I did had a 1682 in the past on this, so it never reached to that level. And this massive, flush. So let's see what markets gives us today. Looking forward to close the week strong. This week was easy and also hard. It's more of a chill side. Still, market is in this phase that very unclear. I'm not sure what happened here. So I would be very cautious looking forward. As you guys probably see the news, and I played this morning, the rate hikes continues by Fed, so that can also be a negative outlook for the upcoming year. And for the small cap, we had many activities for past few weeks, but this week it was relatively slower than last week. So see what we can get, what we can be blessed on. As long as we can make some money, doesn't matter how much, and take something out of the market, that should be enough. One or two setup, do the work. So be smart about it. Don't be scattered. Don't try to catch the fish too early or too late. Gonna re-announce this. Yeah, CSM looks like it's setting up for another push at the open. But I mean, so far we had this gap up at the 8:30, huge gap up. So possible dilution could happen anytime. we'll see how it goes. I mean, it's a stock split. A lot of insider will jump on it, and I don't think. Let's see how much institution are on COSM. Not a lot, mainly insiders. So insiders are relatively. I mean, on the both side, institution and insiders, they're both sometimes decide to pump the stock as they want to pump their position. But insiders are more interested to sell their position than institutions. Also, it could be either side. It depends on the strategy they put in. So you just have to take advantage of their action and detect those areas that they try to dilute. Right, market's open right now. Let's see how this will plays out. First 5 minutes, I will just observe and not taking any trades. But CUSM, it's highly on watch, and ICVX. Yeah, those are the top three stocks that I'm watching. I don't have any more stock at the moment to look. So if you guys have anything in mind, share so we can take a look. Rent is kind of done. RNAA, huge pumper last Tuesday. I will talk about this on our Sunday session this week. So it was a very interesting day that day with IMMX. So CSM halted up. So usually when one stock, which is top gainer, it's halted, attention usually goes to the second gainer or third gainer, or somewhere similar, like a sympathy play. Let's see how this one plays out. Yeah, so the on-hold time is it's every 5 minutes at 9:30. 9:35, 37 second would be the on-hold time for COSM. Then we have NH halted up. They had earnings. I don't see a lot of volume on it. 400,000 only. Yeah, those are the stuff that I would always avoid, unless we see a lot of traders decided to jump on it, but I don't see a lot. Let's get back to the ICVX. ICVX still in that downtrend. IUVI is setting up. I'll probably scalp this if it's stable above this VWAP line. Now it's time for the charting. As I always tell you guys, do your chart. Trade your chart, chart your trade. Remember that all the time. I don't think I trade this before in the past. I have some old line here. Not a whole lot. Let's take a look at the company, see what they're up to. I think they come up with the PR this morning. Yeah, they do have a new PR. Apply UV announced manufacturer. Structure supply chain agreement establishing. Yeah, I mean usually agreement between two companies. It's a good sign for pump. But how long would this hold? It's matter. I mean, I don't think this news can really do much of more than like 10% so far going. I want to see the candle above this POS higher line, the cream line right here. So now we're at this trading time frame. For me personally, I don't trade that first 5 minutes, so now we're in that first 5 minutes. So COSM is also open, looking for that gap up if it's gonna really break through that 449. AUVI looking better. Taking a small position to see if this 127 will break. It's a slow stock. I don't think, well no, it's actually a 6 million float, so let's see that 127 build up as a new support. Need that resistance to break through, and there we go. Blocking something. Just a quick scalp, you know. It's fast money Friday. I'm not gonna really stick to the position forever. There we go. 134 is a new high of the day. Let's go. I'm gonna add a little. If it failed to break, that wouldn't be a good sign. I mean, I'm not looking for this to build the double top at 32. If that's gonna happen, probably gonna see the pullback and then run up again. But let's see. COSM is halted down. A lot of sell-off at that 120, 130, 131. As you can see in the, you can see that times and sell. If you have your times and sell set up, you could see that. RNA also pumping, but this is the type of play that you want to avoid because of the spread. It's a huge spread on RNA. Don't suggest that to any beginners if you don't know what exactly you're doing. So, but our AUVI, it's kind of like an easy setup. It's not really an A+ setup, but it's also alright. Like that push, new high. There we go. Locking something right now. Locking to profit. Yeah. Easy. Yeah, that was a good play. I don't like these top ticks. That means we still need more volume to kind of like hold that. See that fake outs and then also pull back. So this could be a sign if this 130 holds and build that support and consolidation, we could see that at this range we have more buyers at the top area. So 39, and the next don't have anything above 39 actually. So very quick play for Friday. CUSM will be open at, let's see, 39, 5 minutes at 9:42. RNA. It's a very risky play, very risky stock, and yeah, I'm not. So you can see the difference between these two setups. One has a huge gap and higher price range compared to the other one. It's lower price range, lower float, but setup it's a lot easier to trade. The other one is just very unpredictable based on its past. I mean, you can see that the huge dilution from 21. I mean, on that day we had this huge gap on RNA from 16 to 20, 23, 21, which is the max high, I believe. 21, 23, yes. Right now it's kind of have that, you know, dead cat bounce, people trying to pump it to bring attention to traders, but so far failing. We'll see how this plays out, but AUVI is still looking good, still in that upper channel, and gap filled so quick. It's very interesting. Now 139 needs to break that. Yeah, that's a huge resistance right there. 139. Not sure if this stock is easy to borrow. Let's see. Nope, it's hard to borrow. Yeah, it's a pretty chill Friday. I only see these two setups, AUVI, CUSM. CUSM, it's gonna be that halt play all day. If that's gonna happen, I would not even look at it. ICVX, multi-day gap down, definitely a good setup to kind of short it. But I'm far behind the game actually. I missed this ICVX yesterday, so I'm not gonna chase. It's also easy to borrow, so RNA. Let's see. Scalping a little of this RNA. Not suggesting to trade RNA at all because of the volume and overall look. It's not healthy that much, but I mean, you can feel the gap to 1950. It's very risky. You guys see that there's not enough volume on it. It's just setup. It's not easy unless if you know exactly what you're doing. You have a plan, you have a strategy set up, you also have your hotkey set up, because these type of play you just want to scalp in and out. You don't want to hold and hope. That type of strategy takes you to, you know, bankruptcy. You don't want to be that person. You want to be smart, especially these type of play. I mean, with AUVI you can kind of you know, see this pattern We had this huge double top right 139, and it's trying, like I said, it's trying to keep that 130 range. And if this thing's hold, buyers just if this shows a lot of good sign for new buyers, they're probably gonna buy this up and then pump it again. But shorts are ready to smack this down right after here, so it's very risky. You don't want to trade between support and resistance. You want to make sure that you have a clear direction either side, and then set your entry. So that's very important. I mean, I would not even trade this as long as if it's gonna really gap down and then come back up to this 132 range. So far it's shorting, but that is scalp that I made from my line from the breakout was enough, and I'm kind of happy with that. So RNA looks like setting up. Yeah, you guys can see that 14,000 orders just going through. So that can be a so now we need that 1898 to build as a support. So far so good. RNA. Next is 1951. It's good to also have that 5-minute chart on your side. Higher price range, so keep that in mind. It's also low float, but be very cautious. COSM still in that, you know, halt festival. I don't like when the stock is in that, you know, halt festival. Same as I think we had this other ticker AMAM at the open. It just keeps getting halt, and that kind of pissed off the traders. RNA breaking through this 1951. So yeah, I don't see anything else. If you guys have any ideas, share here in the chat, and I will look at it. We have ALR. Oops. So micro penny pump and halted up on a very low volume. RNA is still breaking through. Yeah, at this point, there's this huge gap to 20. That's another 4%. See that RNA going to break this 1951, or it's going to build that double top. I'm looking also at the Tesla. Tesla had news yesterday with Elon Musk sold over. I'm not sure exactly how much he sold. Sold a hefty stake of Tesla. So that caused the stock to drop for the past few days. But I think that dilution is over. There we go, RNA. Going for that 2040. Now you have to kind of see that. You see that descending setup in the past. Oops. That's not my line. A lot of FOMOs, from that 20 on this one is still. So if RNA pulls back and hold this as a support, not flush down, and then create another ABC pattern, that would be a great range to break through the new high and then go much higher. Because the stock has potential to go much higher. I have this 23 range, so I think 23 would be kind of max, but after that it's a no man's land. So AUVI is trading below that VWAP, so at this point, if this fresh volume just not come in, this would be a great setup for short. It's good to anticipate RNA also easy to borrow. That can also cause the stock to go much higher. Because when the stock is on easy to borrow, a lot of beginners or relatively new to shorts are going to short that, and they get a squeeze quicker than the experienced ones. So they have their stop a lot quicker and a lot closer. So that can cause the stock to just squeeze much higher. And they don't have an account, more liquid accounts compared to like professional short trader. ALLR opened here. Not sure what's up with this stock. They come up with the no, I don't see any news on this. I think it's gonna get halted again. $8 million float. Biotech. Yeah. Doesn't look too shabby. See a range, obviously. Yeah, $1 could be a very tough resistance. Shorts wanted more. The max gap I see here, it's 121, and the next 150 again. So let's see if this volume continues. This could be a good play for continuation above $1. Not expecting too much, and AUVI failed to really hold that VWAP. So congrats if you guys scalped this with me. Yeah, I don't see anything else. Looking at this RNA, ALLR, Could be a good candidate. Yeah. A lot of people still are not comfortable to wake up early and be early. I mean, that comes down to your discipline and how much you really wanted this, how much you want to put it in the work, your effort, your passion. I mean, if you're not willing to sacrifice your sleep for your business or for something that you can be good at it in the future, I'm not sure what else you can do, like how you can really become a successful person in your life. So a lot of people are having this problem. I know people love to trade when no one's trading, which is after hour, because I mean people are lazy. Lazy people always left behind, and they would never achieve anything in their life. So if you're smart, if you care, if you have passion, if you want to really know and how to become a good trader, you got to sacrifice some stuff. I sacrificed when I started, so it's very important to have that mentality. Sadly, there's not a lot of people who are like that. People love the quick way of making money, quick reach scheme. Unfortunately, that's not gonna take you anywhere. AMMM. Speaking of devil today, it's kind of setting up. I have this range above 280 to 305. So let's see. Not a whole lot. 17% so far. I mean, the volume is just increasing at this point. I don't see any news. No new news. Probably a good setup for short, but I need to see a first red candle, if that ever is gonna happen. Let's see if this was a easy to borrow. No, it's hard to borrow. Okay. BYSESY. BYSY. Oh, yeah. Okay. BYSY. 23 million float. 40% insider ownership. Not seeing any news, but the stock looking good. So far, 47% cap. Let's do our charting, see how much this stock can really go. Yeah. Let's see much higher. Yeah, it's at the max. Possible short setup. BYSY. Nope, there's no shares available. Never mind. So now we have to look, see if this is on SSR. That's another way to do your due diligence on the stock before you make any plan or trade. Nope, that's not on SSR. So you can conceive that. Let's see if this 240 Yeah, there's no news now. I mean, the volume is good. Volume is decent. ALLR. This one also is on that festival. Halt Festival. AMMM. Should probably. Want to have a starter short on AMMM. Let's see. AMMM. Market is kind of pulling back. Market had a huge drop yesterday after Fed meeting. Yeah, obviously rate hikes continuation. It's not a good sign for market as expected. No share on this. RNA failed to really break that 1987. So I'm looking at, like I said, if this builds up and kind of like have this healthy pullback and then run up for another ABC setup. So okay, so now we're at 10 a.m. AMM. First red candle. I had a small short on this. See if this is really going to pull back. I mean, they're sending CUSM probably gonna halt again. 800%. Well, that's because of the stock is split. So there's no serious gain on it. So now what I'm looking is yeah, I'm probably gonna cut this one. Let's see if this is gonna break through the new high. Let's see if this. All right. Yeah, my focus right now it's on AMMA, AMAM, and EYC. I don't like CUSM anymore because of the halt situation. AUVI, deep buying could be a good area, but I don't see any volume. It's on this, barcode pattern. RNA. Will be a dip by scalp. I'm gonna just scalp this part. Just a small share, just a small share. Nothing too crazy. Nothing too significant. Okay, AMAM failing to break. I will probably add to my short if this VWAP not holding, which it does look like it, but I need that crack below the VWAP first to get the confirmation. RNA still in that consolidation mode. And I will get stop out if it's breakthrough that higher. We'll be back shortly. All right. Everything's pulled back at this time, so, and keep that in mind, it's Fast Money Friday. You don't want to really stick around. Just look at the paint dry, which is exactly what we are seeing today. Well, we have AM kind of like setting up. I cover my short before it break through the new high for a small loss, and then I scalp that RNA right here to 20. I think my sell position is 1926. Yeah, from 19 and 19. Yeah, quick, very quick, 15 cents. And that's it pretty much. And then I had this AUVI scalp at the open to that 139, and it failed to really hold its gain. Great short opportunity. BYSI also great short. I'm also looking for this, ascending to create on AMAM. If not, we're looking for a different setup. No problemo. Could break higher. Could be a good long at this point. Oh. Failed to break the new high. I'm not really a short bias or long bias. I'm a hedge bias. I try to see both sides. BYSY. Quick squeeze on that. Like, that's a very nice candle. It's going to break the new high. BYSY breaking the new high. Made a quick scalp on BYSY. See the new high? There we go. And AMAM going for that sell off at this point. Let's see. Yeah, BYSI was had this unusual gap up right after the VWAP crack. I know a lot of people were short on that, but they got squeezed and screwed. So my main focus is AMAM and BYSI at this moment. RNA still pulling back, not a whole lot. ALLR, I was expecting this to dry down, and that's exactly what happened. YSY failed to kind of break that. I do see a short float of 10% or 2 million short interest. So yeah, and this is exactly what I'm looking for. Sadly, I can't find any shares on my E-Trade. I mean, look at that. It's a really good build up. Yeah, I don't see any other setups. So NCRA, UTB. Yeah, not a whole lot. TIG. Oh, never mind. Nope. Yeah, today's one of those days. Quick, early, pre-market good. Market open is better. Well, not better. I mean, market open we had some opportunities, but right now it's kind of pulling back for the opportunity to present itself, in my opinion. But overall, it's a very slow day. RNA pulling back. Would be a good area to scalp again. Yeah. Give it. BYSY still setting up. Still a good looking stock. 50% at this point. 70% is a possibility. This is like a chase time. A lot of people chase to this possible fake out. that short on AMAM. Yeah, I try to avoid this ticker. Just got into the... Had a bad injury and then didn't want to see this. I mean, it's okay. Not the type of setup for sure at this time. But if this rejection continues and then VWAP crack, might see a bigger pullback. AUVI kind of build that support from 110, but not seeing a whole lot. Yeah, AMAM setting up for possible break, but it keeps getting rejected, so it could not be a good sign. RNA, NI, pull back to the support. $18.09, right? Last support. Oh. I don't see any new buyers on RNA, NA. Just scalp strategy. I mean, deep buying on RNAA and scalping to that 200 EMA, which is my white line here, wouldn't be a bad idea. Just kind of did that. Just 5 cents move. Yep, rejection continues on AMAM. Just patient at this point. AUVI, not gonna do it. So now it's the time for adjustment on the lines. AMAM rejected. Finally crack. Kind of what I was looking for. Shorting this rejection right here. Now we're talking. There we go. 53, covering some. Great short. 52 possible halts. Just scalp short. So when you stick to your plan and you execute your plan, you always get the result. And that's what I did. Stick to my plan. I wanted this crack, and then I tested. It failed. I got stopped out, and then I wanted this VWAP to crack to start with the smaller position, but I started with a bigger position at this crack, and then I scalp it to this support that I had already. So that was a great trade. Yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. I'm not gonna stick around for longer. Today was okay compared to other days. Yesterday I took a day off, but today, I mean, fast money Friday, this was okay. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and definitely watch the if you didn't get a chance to join, definitely watch the saved one after this. So reach out if you have any question. Take care everyone.